everyone is just so nice here, and my bosses are great. Well, one of them is a real bitch, but I think she's just jealous that Mr. Crawford likes her. Well, of course, Mom. Love you too. Bye.
No.
Oh, fuck!
Sweet shit! Hey, kNOW's having a party later.
Merriweather, for all your private security needs. How can I help? Helicopter support unit will be with you right away.
We got you covered.
That's how it's done. It's such a pleasure to be working in a professional outfit. Finally. Please don't hurt me.
I'd use the local police force, but the fact is, Gordon, they're useless. Lone existentialist dead starlets in Vinewood, to the gangbangers in Davis and Strawberry, and terracels in Chumash, to the drunken tourists in Del Perro Pier. It's time to take a look inside this cesspit of destroyed dreams, drug-addled degenerates, and deluded desperados that make up this great city of lights. Hi, I'm decorated FIB agent Stephen Haynes. The FIB, the police department, and the sheriff's office are fighting a war out here every day in a city where dreams too often become wet with tears. The Los Santos Docks. This is where it all begins. The second largest port in the world. The great orifice of American capitalism. Stuff coming in, garbage going out. And hidden in over 2 million containers a day. God only knows what. The cartels pay off some low-level schlub, and suddenly you've got military-grade weapons, badly cut crystal meth, and grade A yayo from Mexico flooding our streets. And once it hits the hood, it's anarchy. A side of murder, hold the fries. Or maybe the Chinese are slipping some of our high-security weapons systems in with the recycling. And we're giving up our national security for nothing? Who knows? Who cares? As long as the financial party continues, we'll just keep picking up the pieces. A word to the wise kids, never use PCP. It makes you want to punch cops or run around naked, not necessarily always in that order. Most of the time, this illicit cargo makes it straight to the games. But sometimes an ordinary Joe lets go and loses his shit after a pipe or two of pleasure dust. The Vagos, bloodthirsty Chicanos with a predilection for pain, papaya juice, and spicy plantains. They're one of the largest Mexican street gangs in the city, with rumored connections to several major mafias. While half the battle out here is fought with guns, the other half is with informants. Sometimes you need to become the bad guys to bust the bad guys. All right, guys, let's go. When the Ballas and the families aren't shooting each other, they're selling the dope that the junkies are shooting into their veins. The families love sports almost as much as they love banging. Flashy, arrogant, competitive, and aggressive, they are lifelong bitter enemies of the Ballas. Wearing the colors of the feud or the corkers, the families call themselves Gang Green. Of course, like all families, they love a good squabble. Subdivided into sets, such as the Chamberlain Gangsters and the Carson Avenue set, it turns out the families love shooting each other almost as much as they love shooting Ballas. Now, the LSPD have had many run-ins with various family sets over the years. With the Ballas, the FIB take a more community outreach approach. Hey, guys! Stay out of trouble now! Now, the Ballas fly the colors of the Los Santos Panic, or the Board. Purple. Because they are the bruise on the face of this city. While some thugs obviously prefer four wheels, other desperados prefer two. Leather, exhaust, and drugs. No, this isn't an exotic S&M party. These are one of the nation's toughest outlaw motorcycle gangs. The Lost. Rumors are they get a new tattoo for every person they stab. And it's definitely okay for your motorcycle mama to show her breast to your friends. The FIB has been tracking the Lost for years. We've jumped from coast to coast and have spent more time in the Midwest than a tornado spotter. When they're not bloody cat, they're smoking it. Or so I hear a dangerous new drug on the streets called toilet cleaner. And believe me, your toilet will be cleaned after you smoke some of it. Of course, Vinewood being Vinewood, it's not all about leathery dudes trying to show off on their motorbikes or roided up gangbangers stuck in some 90s time warp. This is the town that made mass murder into nostalgia. Of course, to become truly popular, your murder has to be both unsolved and gruesome. In a town full of alien spotters, adults dressed as zombies, and entertainers dressed as cartoon characters, it takes something particularly awful to really catch people's attention. The famous unsolved murder of a Vinewood starlet is one such case. For years, horny nerds have wondered what happened to Leonora Khmer, the Soviets, short skirts, women's liberation, and hidden aliens embedded amongst us for the murder. But not all crime is premeditated. Maybe drinking's your thing. Look at this drunken buffoon, proving that there doesn't always need to be criminal intent to cause serious criminal damage. Or maybe you're just an overprivileged poppycock, living on daddy's pension and protesting about the unfairness of capitalism. Maybe stock market manipulation is your bag, or loan sharking, double identity theft, assassination, or even worse, swinging. On our next episode, I, Stephen Haynes, will show you the flasher side of crime in Los Santos. Illegal street racing, cocaine, and vice. Yes, speed, snort, and sex. The alliterative threesome that helped hook America on the underbelly of paradise.
Epsilonists. Ponzi scheming sadists playing on the sad and desperate? Or helpful folks who've actually met our alien overlords? That's an exciting debate for another day. The cargo's loaded into one of their aircraft at the Rockford Hills Center. You get past security, you get it, and you get back.
Hello, this is Pegasus Lifestyle Management. How can I help? Great. The aircraft is waiting for you at our nearest airfield. We trust you'll be happy, sir. Our most sincere apologies, sir. We have been unable to move your vehicle to a suitable location. We have refunded your fee. Please call us again at your nearest convenience, sir. Hello, Pegasus Lifestyle Management. How can I help you? Your beautiful new aircraft is waiting at our nearest airfield. We hope you're very happy, sir. Merriweather, because security is a private matter. What can I do for you? Your Merriweather Air Team is on its way.
We are here to help. Latest whoever's giving you trouble.
That's how it's done. It's such a pleasure to be working in a professional outfit. Finally. Please don't hurt me. If my wife's divorce lawyer taught me anything, it's that life's not about coming out better than your opponent. It's about totally destroying him and sleeping in his bed every night. Now take a plane and do a bombing raid on our competitors. Then take the cargo we need.
defenses activated.
That's how it's done. It's such a pleasure to be working in a professional outfit. Finally. Please don't hurt me. Okay, this is what the Greeks called a quid pro quo. Take the weaponized plane there and use it to protect an associate of ours' shipment. When you get them where they're going, they'll drop the payload we're looking for.
Them of the glorious light of the sun, of
I
the
told
light
y'all
for
couldn't hear.
which they were born.
I know not.
The plaintive cries they utter we affect to take to be meaningless, whereas in fact they are entreaties and supplications and prayers addressed to us by each which way. Is it not the satisfaction of your real necessities we deprecate? It is not the satisfaction of your real necessities we deprecate, but the wanton indulgence of your appetites. Kill to eat, if you must or will, but do not slay me that you may feed luxuriously. So in other words, the animal's saying, I don't begrudge you, you need to eat. But must you slay because for your better eating? You've already got eating. No. There's already food out there.
There's already food,
cherries or apples and bananas.
Come on, man.
And carrots and pumpkins.
Free.
Why does blood need to be spilled?
Why?
This is the thinking we might have to address. If it concerns
because you look at an elephant, the strongest animal in the motherfucking jungle.
Alas for our savage inhumanity. It is a terrible thing to see the table of a rich man decked out by those layers of corpses, the butchers and cooks. A still more terrible sight is the same table after the feast, for the wasted relics are even more than the consumption. Have you seen this? I'm privileged to be able, I'm a musician, a professional musician, so I get to do corporate functions. So you go to a function of, say, a bank break-up party at the end of the year or something, and you see all these donors and all these intellectuals that go to celebrate the corporation. So I get to play and watch their behaviour, and I see how much food, they've got the choice of grapes and water and all sorts of carcasses. Bring out fish and they bring out meat and they bring out all sorts of food, and as Plutarch says, the wasted relics are even more than the consumption. And the people starting to work in this planet. These victims then have given us their lives uselessly, as other times from the mere niggardliness. The host will grudge to distribute his dishes, and yet he grudged not to deprive innocent beings of their existence. Well, I've taken away the excuse of those who allege that they have the authority and sanction of nature. That man is not by nature carnivorous is proved in the first place by the external frame of his body, seeing that to none of the animals designed for living on flesh has the human body any resemblance. He has no curved beak, no sharp talons, no claws, no pointed teeth, no intense power, or stomach, or heat of blood, which might help him to masticate and digest the gross and tough flesh substance. On the contrary, by the smoothness of his teeth, the small capacity of his mouth, the softness of his tongue, and the sluggishness of his digestive apparatus, nature sternly forbids him to feed on flesh. And that's what Sri Yukteswar says in the Holy Science. There's a chapter there on flesh. And it's absolutely not for human consumption. It really upsets me when people who take the philosophical stance and try to be teachers and etc. and who do the opposite. And teach that it's beneficial. And I know that people are doing something really makes me so distraught. It's absolutely not beneficial at all. There's nothing beneficial in eating flesh at all. Not a thing. None. It's toxic. As they say, it's a waste. Salt, animal being salt. But anyway, this is the thing that is more one studies and deepens his level of appreciation of the spiritual and metaphysical of all of this, the more one then sees the need to adapt. You see, there are many things that we can do. Now this establishment, House, is doing yoga. Right? So George is teaching yoga, and this is a physical and spiritual practice. It has both benefits. So physically, yoga is just magic for the body, but it's also spiritual. So, and this is why a lot of church goers will say, "Oh, yoga, oh, that's from the devil." Right? It's from the devil, yoga, and stretching, filling the mind with good information is from the devil. But you see, these are some of the things that we need to look at. Are we exercising and stretching with the good food that we eat, the good light food? Because raw food, if you can add more raw food into your diet, you get more light, because it hasn't been burned, cooked, grilled, roasted, fried, or anything like that. So which actually destroys the enzymes in the food. But things like yoga is all about stretching. It's just getting all the joints moving and stuff like that. Dancing is a good way to do yoga. Go to the partner and do half an hour a day or something like that. Because the more light food that you eat, and that's LIGHT, raw food, the more your body can use. The body can use those atoms. They haven't been destroyed. They haven't lost the elements, like electrons, which is what causes free radicals. And processed food is like that. That's why they cook it to death. It's fried and cooked food is actually destroying the food. As you grow with this knowledge of and by the way, Christologia is not saying that only ancient knowledge is useful. No new stuff. I mean, there's new information that is came. It's timeless wisdom. It's not Prisca as in ancient. It's timeless. And as you learn this timeless wisdom, then you grow and you see the need to shed things that you discern for yourself that are no good for you anymore. See, you might read the bits and pieces at the moment, and because we've had thousands of years of this meat-eating tradition, and we're following. See, the feeding of the senses. And in some cultures, they eat humans. They've gone one step further, and they've gone to cannibalism. Right? They're not satisfied with just eating animals. But we fell to that condition. It was not like that in the past. In the past, we did not do this. And I've got proof of that. You've got Ovid in the Metamorphosis 2,000 years ago, saying that please and saying to follow him, all is quite better than and every philosopher is vegetarian. So, the great philosopher, that is, and he says there that, even Empedocles, the Sicilian philosopher, he was around the time of Pythagoras. Pythagoras. But as we go, we can make these decisions for ourselves, because you know what you need when you are seeking research. Simple. So no one's giving anybody any hard and fast rules, and no one's standing up trying to be the best example. I'm not certainly not. So don't try to tell people just that I'm not there to give real deep and specific advice on any way to live. I know yoga's good. I do it. I practice my own yoga and do my own stretches and look after. I feel which muscles need, stretch, elongation. I might do a little bit of dancing to relax or something like that. Breathing is very, very important to learn how to breathe. Unfortunately, a lot of people are breathing incorrectly. Do this, they're sucking in and they're breathing here. When they're breathing in, that doesn't make sense. You're blowing into a balloon that expands. Right? So when you're drawing in, everything should be just going through the diaphragm, right down the bottom. It should be sort of going all the way down to the feet. The breath going down to the feet. And expansion. And then when you blow out, then you contract. But I can see people's breathing from a long way away, I can see whether they're breathing correctly or not. That needs to be corrected first, because once you can get, and there is a philosophical school that suggests that you've been given a certain number of breaths. Yeah, you've been dished out a certain number of breaths, and once they expire, you expire. That's what they say. So they teach, and I think it's in the East where they say, so breathe slowly. Because you're going to live longer. Yeah. And you find most of these geniuses and most of these great inventors, Francis Crick, for instance, discovered DNA from LSD. Okay? This is why the likes of Aldous Huxley and Timothy Leary, advanced the idea that we need to try some good, mind-expanding, natural plants that have DMT. DMT is what the pineal gland produces. You see, dimethyltryptamine, it causes you to have a condition. This is to be the new one. Yeah, well, the war on drugs is basically, it's confused with. Because why would they be attacking plants that are just growing like psilocybin mushroom and plants like DMT when they should be going after the, George Bush declared
So pharmaceutical company.
going after
The pharmaceutical company. Pharmaceutical company. Pharmaceutical company.
What other sort of drugs that are bad? Not lumping them in with entheogens, psychedelics, hallucinogens. And that's what they're doing. They're doing that because they are the ones who make the drugs. They are the drug traffickers. And they've been exposed many times. So I'm not just making this up. George Bush has got a big drug pushing cartel going, and that's why he has this war on drugs, so he can get funding from taxpayer money for it, so that they've got big police force, and they're all already taking care of the drug trafficking. And they can use that to disguise the war on drugs because people are taking cannabis, which is my understanding. And this is what they do. They're all very, very clever. And just a little bit more, we've got Porphyry now. He says, it does not follow, if we have more intelligence than other animals, that on this account they are to be deprived of intelligence, as neither must it be said that partridges do not fly because hawks fly higher. Someone, therefore, may admit that the soul is copassive with the body, and that the former suffers something from the latter. It must be demonstrated, therefore, that there is a rational power in animals, and that they are not deprived of prudence. And in the first place, indeed, each of them knows whether it is imbecile or strong, and in consequence of this, it defends some parts of itself, but attacks with others. Thus, the panther uses its teeth, the lion its nails and teeth, the horse its hooves, the ox its horns, the cock its spurs, and the scorpion its sting. But the serpents of Egypt use their spittle, whence also they are called cladders, spitters. With this they blind the eyes of those that approach them, and thus a different animal uses a different part of itself to attack in order to save itself. They likewise change their places of abode at certain times, and know everything which contributes to their advantage. In a similar manner, in fishes and in birds, a reasoning energy of this kind may be perceived. So that's what the philosopher thinks, you see. And that's where well, that's where we're going. This is philosophy, because what is philosophy? Phil means love, and Sophia, she's a goddess of wisdom. My brain, we love this. We love wisdom. Why wouldn't you want to be a philosopher? A lover of wisdom? Or you want to be a doofus? The dunce on the block? You know. And this is the knowledge that grows that. Lucius Annius Seneca. That's the guy who we just spoke about. Seneca. He was a vegetarian. He said, many dishes have induced many diseases. Note how vast a quantity of lives one stomach absorbs. Insatiable, unfathomable gluttony searches every land and every sea. Some animals it persecutes with snares and traps, with hunting nets, with hooks, sparing no sort of toil to obtain them. There is no peace allowed to any species of being. You have a look at those little chickens that are cooped up, and they can only face this way. And they've got their beaks have been burned off, the pain. You have a look at your cows that have had branding on their faces. Have you seen the movie Earthlings?
Cargo delivered. Oh, look at us, running like clockwork, a well-oiled machine. I've been oiled before, but I've never been a machine.
What scientists are doing to animals, you know, testing on chimpanzees and injecting them with all sorts of things.
Don't turn away neither.
Just waiting for the morning sun to come through the window so they can be injected with AIDS and, you know, all sorts of things that Bayer and Johnson & Johnson and all of these big pharma run by the Vatican. Yeah, we don't see it. We don't see what's going on in those laboratories. We've got little chickens and little guinea pigs and innocent little animals. Plotinus, everyone's favourite. He was in the 2nd century, Neoplatonist, student of Harmonius Saccas, I believe. But anyway, this is what he says in his 9th tractate. The intellectual principle, the ideas, and the authentic existence. All human beings from birth onward live to the realm of sense more than to the intellect. Forced of necessity to attend first to the material, some of them elect to abide by that order, and their life throughout make its concerns their first and their last. The sweet and the bitter of sense are their good and evil. They feel they have done all if they live along pursuing the one and barring the doors of the other. And those of them that pretend to reasoning have adopted this as their philosophy. They are like the heavier birds, which have incorporated much from the earth, and are so weighed down that they cannot fly high for all the wings nature has given them. You know the pelican, right? When you got your big fish, right, and he tries to get away, he's got too much fish in his mouth, right? He's saying people have, you know, filled their heads with opinions, you know. Oh, and my opinion's right, yours is wrong, and you know, and I think it should be like this, and it's all heavy with opinion, and they can't fly. Because it says all human beings from birth onward live in the realm of sense. You see, when you trust those 5 senses, you know, what does it feel like? Feels like an elephant, right? Right, but it could be a bear, and it's about to eat you. You know, you can't trust your senses. You can't trust your sight and your hearing. You know? And that's where this mind, the 6th sense, this is where, well, I mean, we have to trust our senses, don't we? That's what we've got. That's what the brain, I mean, I'm seeing you by virtue of my eyesight. So my brain's telling me that you're there.
You know what they keep on Merryweather cargo planes except for globalist super soldiers? That's right, cargo! Get in the weaponized aircraft I sourced, dodge the protection details, take down the cargo planes, and get our cargo. Whew, boy, it was exhausting just saying that. Even thinking it, in fact. I think I'm being monitored internally, probed.
The better in their soul urges them from the pleasant to the nobler, but they are not of power to see the highest, and so, in despair of any surer ground, they fall back in virtue's name upon those actions and options of the lower form, of the lower from which they sought to escape. But there is a third order, those godlike men who in their mightier power, in the keenness of their sight, have clear vision of the splendour above, and rise to it from among the cloud and fog of earth, and hold firmly to that other world, looking beyond all here, delighted in the place of reality, their native land, like a man returning after long wanderings to the pleasant ways of his own country. You see, what they're saying is eventually the godlike one, or the one that looks for God, you know, the cause of it all, he just doesn't satisfy, he's not satisfied with studying texts, he's not going to so then he returns back to it. After he does mighty searches, he searches for the truth. And what is the other place and how is it accessible? It is to be reached by those who, born with the nature of the lover, are also authentically philosophic by inherent temper, in pain of love towards beauty, but not held by material loveliness. See that television? The loveliness of that kid that can't fly, so it can taking refuge from that in which taking refuge from that in things whose beauty is of the soul, such things as virtue, knowledge, institutions, law and custom, and sense, rising still a step, each to the source of this loveliness of the soul, thence to whatever be above that again, until the utmost is reached. Just a bit by time it is. Here is the Nag Hammadi Gospel. Okay? Now, they are hermetic. They talk about Jesus, but not as a historical person, because that's how Jesus should be spoken. Jesus is not a historical person. In the scriptures, he is defined as the Logos. Remember? The Logos. That's where speech. See, this is the Father. And then the Logos speaks forth, and then the Holy Spirit is sent in Gemini to go and work. You see? So, it's the Logos. It's the wisdom. It's just divine wisdom. Everything that is in the Gospel can be taken directly from the Gospel. There's a Gospel called the Discourse on the 8th and the 9th. And that's what I want to encourage you to read. The 8th and the 9th. That's talking about the 8 rings of the octave that we live in. So they were talking about that science in the Nag Hammadi document. So I urge you to have a read of some of those if you're interested in knowing who Jesus really is. So you put all this back into perspective. The Romans told us that it's a historical person, and you won't have salvation by that historical person. I've proven with all my videos, not just this one, all my presentations, that is wrong. Jesus is, in fact, the spiritual essence of who we are. Oh, look, there would have been someone historically that would have taken that name, just like there would be a historical Jesus, if you like, because the mystery school that was around in the Middle East that was turning out Jesus was operating until Titus came along and destroyed it. Remember Titus's ark? He commemorated the destruction of the Jerusalem and got the Jewish memorial. Remember that? The ark of Titus in Rome? Well, he commemorated that, the destruction. Because what they did was they destroyed one of the Mediterranean schools where you could go and be initiated. And in the initiation, you had to go through a ordeal. So they were actually putting people in crosses. They were doing it. They used to do this in England. This is why Freemasons have got all this strange rituals. It's all based on this is Freemasonry. And they have to, go through the ordeal just like the sun goes through the ordeal, betrayal, and then, blindfolded, and then killed, and then you've got to climb up and run away from his enemies, Satan is always there, and he's got to conquer. And then, there's the sign of exaltation of the sun, and here is the sign where, etc., etc. Right? That's what we do in our ordeals. Now, in the Middle East, that's what they were doing. They were bringing people, they had to carry their cross up the mountain, and then they had to be hung on the cross for 3 days. And when they survived the initiate, they were given a new name, and usually that name was Jesus. There's the Jesus. That's how it was known. It was not a historical person. It's the spiritual person in you. It's your soul. It's who you are. And then when one has achieved this illumination, one then is able to have the crown chakra pierced, and he is an illuminated chief, an Illuminati. There it is. There it is. And that is, you know, the vision that St. John had in Revelation. The moon, Mercury, Venus, the sun, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. All described in the first chapter of Revelation, where it says, I beheld the Lord, and his face shone like the sun. Well, that's the sun. And he had a sword that issued from his mouth. Well, that's Mars. Mars is the martial one who's ready to fight at the drop of a hat. And he had white hair, you know, because he was the ancient one. Well, that's Saturn, old man Cronus. He's got white hair, all grey. He doesn't got any, you know, nice dyed hair. The belt around the packs. I mean, what's Jesus doing with, you know, with some nice little boobies? Well, and what's he doing with a belt around there, like a bra? So it's a bra, basically. Well, it's Venus. So he's describing in the first chapter of Revelation, and what happens is these are the seven vows of the creation, the seven planets. These are the Elohim. That's the Elohim. He was actually describing the Elohim, the solar system. Our big brother as above. Whatever it does, we do. We've got the sun in here. I see what Bitchy had a lot to say about the sun. I want to share something with you here.
The sun is the only one without a mother.
The sign in which the sun is exalted, that is Aries. In this way, becomes the head of the sign, signifying the head in every living thing. Also, the sign in which the sun is domiciled, that is Leo. It is the heart of the signs, and so rules the heart in any living thing. I'm stressing that because that's what I'm talking about this in all of my presentations. And the reason being is because that's how the system works. Aries is always ahead. And the words for Aries have always meant that. In Jewish, Rosh means ahead. In Greek, Theos means ahead. In Latin, Primus means ahead. That's where the primavera starts. The first season, the spring. Prima, that's Primus. Right? Right ascension begins here. There's a lot of reasons. But when the sun enters Leo, it extinguishes in many regions the epidemic of the python's poison. Moreover, the yearly fortune of the whole world will always depend on the sun, on the entry of the sun into Aries. And hence, from this, the nature of any spring may properly be judged. Just as the quality of summer is judged from the ingress of the sun into Cancer, or that of autumn from its entrance into Libra, and from the coming into Capricorn the quality of winter is discovered. These things are gleaned from the figures of the heavens present at that time. Since time depends on motion, the sun distinguishes the 4 seasons of the year through the 4 cardinal signs. Similarly, when the sun returns by the exact degree and minute to its place in the nativity of any person, his share of fortune is unfolded through the whole year. It happens in this way because the movement of the sun is the first and chief sun is very simple, as Aristotle says, neither falling away from the middle of the zodiac, as the others do, nor retrograde. You see all the other planets retrograde. And what's retrograde? Well, you know, if you're watching the planets, you see Saturn, he's doing this, and all of a sudden you see him go like this. And then he goes back forward, and he goes direct. Everything, sign, all of a sudden he goes back a few degrees. And you go, what the hell? And you're watching this, you know, wow. I was watching that last year with Saturn in Virgo. Right, it goes all the way to Speaker, then it goes back the other way. In Libra here, Virgo and Libra, Saturn has been here for the last couple of years, right? So it retrograded, it went back to Virgo, and then it goes back, now it's in Libra, right? Well, it's still physically in Virgo, but anyway, won't go into that because it needs a lot of explaining. But in our vortex solar system. You see, the planets are all doing this, and of course, that's why every orbit is elliptical, because they're all occurring in cones. Every orbit. There's not an orbit out there that is not elliptical, and because it's doing this, it's conical. So what happens is, when, let's say this would be Earth, here's the Sun, there's Mercury, Venus and the Earth, say we're about here, and Saturn is coming around, and say Mars is coming around here, right? Because we are travelling fast along this way, we are heading in that direction, and Mars is going around this curve, he will seem to be going backwards. You see? They don't retrograde. They don't and then go back and, well, that was good, interesting little retrograde, that was, very kinky. Don't do that. But that's how it works, because it's all following the Sun in its cone, and the Sun is the leader. And all the planets follow. Snow White, 7 dwarfs. It's Little Rhino. It's Hercules. Samson pulls down the gates of Gaza. It's Troy. It's Helen of Troy. Helen is the moon. And where's Moon? There it is. Now this guy, Thomas Taylor, he was interpreting all the philosophers, right? And he's the best one. But he's talking about Troy. Of course, we see there are scholars who really believe and insist that Troy was physically on the historical plane. It's good when you have intelligent people, shedding the light on all of these. Like you have, how many books have been written, trying to prove that Jesus was historical, etc., and the apostles and everything like that. But then you get one great book that comes along, like Alvin Boyd Coons, that one, and dismantles it with proofs. Absolute proofs. Well, what he's saying here about the Trojan War, etc., if I can find it. I've got so many good points.
I'm sorry,
here.
boss.
Beautiful the way this guy explains the myths. Oh, there it is. Of course, it's in The Wandering of Ulysses. Okay, this is one of the books that he translated. And he says the Trojans are called genuine. For all the lives which subsist about bodies and irrational souls are favourable and attentive to their proper matter. On the contrary, the Greeks are rational souls, coming from Greece, i.e. from the intelligible into matter. So it's talking about this. The Trojan War is talking about man, and the Greeks, of course, are going to call themselves the rational ones, coming in and experiencing the experience of matter. Hence, the Greeks are called foreign, but vanquish the Trojans as being of a superior order.
Okay, you're using a seaplane for this one. Fly
Fly
out to a wrecked vessel off the coast. Take out the salvage crew, then dive for the cargo yourself. Now, you'll need rebreathers for that. If we don't get this stuff, the globalists will. And that's bad, okay?
Therefore, of this intelligible beauty is imparted to matter through Venus. And about this efflux of beauty the Greeks fight with the Trojans, rational with irrational lives. And those indeed that oppose and vanquish matter return to the intelligible world, which is their true country. And 10 years returning to the true country. That's 10,000 years of incarnation. It's talking about us. 10 is just a sticker. Not 10 years literally. It's a symbolic number. According to the as therefore the prophet in the 10th book of the Republic, and those indeed that oppose and vanquish matter return to the intelligible world, which is their true country. But those who do not, as in the case with the multitude, are bound to matter. As therefore the prophet in the 10th book of the Republic, previously to the descent of souls, announces to them how they may return to their pristine felicity according to periods of 1,000 and 10,000 years. Thus also Malthus predicts to the Greeks their return in 10 years, the number 10 being the symbol of the perfect food. And as in the lives of souls, some are elevated through philosophy, others through the amatorial, and others through the royal and warlike discipline. So with respect to the Greeks, some act with rectitude through prudence, but others through royal love, and the return is different, according to their different pursuits. And that's how they all return back to Greece. Now, the best of the Jewish wisdom that you can get will come from the Sefer Yetzirah and the Zohar. Okay, these books perfectly explain all of this science. Okay, and in the Zohar, it's interesting to note in one of the books in the chapters in the Zohar, it talks about how to look at the Torah. And in here it explains that we must not look at the Bible, the Torah, as a literal document. Because the Jews gave us these silly stories on a literal plane. They're silly, but they're wise stories. You know, they're hiding a great kernel of truth. Now, like a silly story like Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Well, the origin of this is very simple, to people who are thinking. They don't need to do too much thinking. That would be a happy egg, wouldn't it? Full moon, and in the ovaries that would be the egg, right? So the moon, she climbs up, new moon, she climbs, there's quarter moon, quarter sun, and she keeps waxing, and finally she gets into her kingdom. She's full and glowing. That's Mary Magdalene. That's Helen of Troy. This is Troy. This is Troy. Right? And when Humpty Dumpty falls off the wall, there's no king that can put it back together again. Because that corresponds to the menstruation cycle. That egg's a goner. Right? So you see, all of the characters are there. There's not one that is not there. And this is what they're saying.
You need something, huh? One of your rides? Let me know.
Woe to the
It's
human
coming
being
at
who
you.
says that Torah presents mere stories and ordinary words. If so, we could compose a Torah right now with ordinary words and better than all of them. In other words, he's saying there's more to it than just ordinary little stories that you can mock. You know, when you hear about Samson killing his 1,000 with an ox, or Jonah, being swallowed by a whale for 3 days, etc. You know, please don't laugh at us. Even Origen in the 2nd century, the Alexandrian Gnostic Christian, said, they're just stories. They are stories that hide a deeper truth. Josephus said it. Philo Judaeus, Philo, the great 1st century scholar, he said that everything in the Bible, in fact he wrote works called allegories, explaining the allegories in the Bible. The Apostle Paul in Galatians chapter 4, he talks about the allegory of Sarah and Hagar. Because Sarah would be the moon. And the moon is the mother of spiritual Israel. Right? She would be Isis. But the earth, Hagar, she is the mother of the slaves. Because the earthbound people are slaves. Whereas the spiritual ones would go to Sarah, you see. And where do you find Sarah? Well, she's on top of the mountain. That's the spiritual, our spiritual mother, you see. And when Moses climbed Mount Sinai, that's the mountain of sin, the mountain of the moon. Another word for moon is sin. And Sinai comes from that word. You see, it says, fools of the world look only at the garment, the story of the Torah. They know nothing more. Thomas Paine, who was a Hermetist, I'm going to wind up in 5 minutes. Thomas Paine, who was a Hermetist, and one of the founders of the Hermetic Republic of the United States of America. And he said that as to the Christian system of faith, it appears to me as a species of atheism, a sort of religious denial of God. It professes to believe in a man rather than in God. It is a compound made up chiefly of manism, but little deism, and it is near to atheism as twilight is to darkness. It introduces between man and his maker an opaque body, which it calls a redeemer. As the moon introduces her opaque self between the earth and the sun, and it produces by this means a religious or an irreligious eclipse of light. It has put the whole orbit of reason to shade. The effect of this obscurity has been that of turning everything upside down and representing it in reverse. And among the revolutions it has thus magically produced, it has made a revolution in theology. As to the theology that is now studied in its place, it is the study of human opinions and of human fancies concerning God. That's all it is. You go to church, you go to Jehovah's Witnesses, human opinions, buffoons. Go to the Mormons, same stuff. Seventh-day Adventists, all of them. They've all got their patented version of the same rubbish lie from Rome. It is not the study of God himself in the works that he has made, but in the works or writings that man has made. That's what the churches are up to. Yeah. And it is not among the least of the mischiefs that the Christian system has done to the world that it has abandoned the original and beautiful system of theology, the Christotheology. Yeah. And to make room for a hag of superstition. And you need to read what he says. He calls Christianity a gag on the spiritual evolution of the human race. A gag, like a sheep has a gag on its bum. That's what Christianity is. It's like a gag dragging us back into the world of superstition. Killing scientists like Galileo and murdering prophets of this true wisdom. The age of ignorance commenced with the Christian system. But the Christian system laid all waste. And if we take our stand about the beginning of the 16th century, we look back through that long chasm to the time of the ancients, as over a vast sandy desert, in which not a shrub appears to intercept the vision to the fertile hills beyond. It is an inconsistency scarcely possible to be credited that anything should exist under the name of a religion that held it to be religious, to study and contemplate the structure of the universe that God made. He's saying that Christianity has been opposed to the study of the universe, how God made it. It's been opposed. That's the enemy, Thomas Paine. That's what caused Teddy Roosevelt to call him a filthy little atheist 100 years later. Because, of course Teddy was a corporate buffoon who wouldn't know what an atheist is. He wouldn't know what Thomas Paine was anyway. He was just happy to vomit out his rubbish, like all the rest who came subsequent to the period of 1871 when they founded the Corporation of the United States, which is not the Hermetic Republic, Constitutional Republic of the United States of America. See, everywhere where Hermes goes, he brings liberation. He did so to the Waldenses and the Lollards and the Huguenots and the Socinians and the Collegians and the Anabaptists, etc. How many organisations, the Bogomils, the Cathars, the Albigenses, the Jews in Spain that were persecuted through the Inquisition. That was 8,000-9,000 years ago. And then the Renaissance came and they squashed that with the Reformation and the Counter-Reformation. And then the Republic came and set itself up. And this is all Hermetic. But then the Vatican saw what was happening over in the New Land, and it sent its banksters over to trick people Andrew Jackson, the 7th President of the United States, says, I killed the banks. Thomas Jefferson said, democracy is mob rule. We heard what Thomas Paine says. Thomas Paine also says that the Christian religion is a parody on the sun. I've got all those quotes. I've done them in other presentations. So these Hermetists tried to save the New World, but the Vatican came a calling. After the death of Abraham Lincoln, they set up in Washington, D.C., a corporation called the United States, headed by the Vatican. That's why you have the two fasci in Congress in America. The fasci belong to Rome. Rome tells you where it's ruling and who it's ruling and sodomizing. It makes fools and slaves out of the world. So this information is information that frees, and I hope that you enjoyed the presentation, and urge you all to continue studying this stuff. Grab a book, a notepad, and do this. Do the zodiac. This is the wheel that you were blessed with. That's why this is the most known symbol in the universe. This is our sign, and no one shall take it away from us. Coming back, and it will absolutely free mankind in the very, very near future. And it will destroy the fiction of false religion. Absolutely obliterate it. It was prophesied. Hesiod prophesied it. Hermes prophesied it. They all said it. All the prophecies know that when this age comes, and Saturn returns in Aquarius, big time truth. He's a truth dealer.
And I'm the Aquarius. This is an important thing.
Merryweather might be an army without a country, but it does have the cargo we're chasing in a fighter plane. So how about you take another fighter plane?
Reuse, nigga. Reuse. all this bullshit. Fair use, niggas. Fair use.
The cargo's in the car. Okay, this cargo is about to move out. But not if we've got something to do with it. These guys have a bunch of crates ready to go on a rooftop. Take the chopper, land just down from where they are, then take them out and search the crates for what we need.
Why the fuck you keep doing that bullshit? Fucking my shit clean off. Y'all stop fucking doing the algorithms with my shit. Leave my shit alone. Like cut into my shit and put a commercial on. I ain't watching no shit that has no fucking commercial.
Merriweather, because security is a private matter, what can I do for you? Helicopter support unit will be with you right away.
We're here now.
Hello, Pegasus Lifestyle Management. How can I help you? Your beautiful new aircraft is waiting at our nearest airfield. We hope you're very happy, sir.
Cargo delivered.
Morse Mutual, how can I be of service? I can do that.
It's I, see you news, Weasel News. You Weasel, you making news on my channel with kNOw and we, me, all as one people. Meaning, we all individually, consciously thinking, but we all have the divine creative beat in us. All. That's what the heartbeat is. I don't know what no one else is saying about what they talking about. But basically everything that most people talk about, 9 times out of 10, is something that they read out of a book. Or it's something that they got from someone else. But let me tell you something for yourself. Mine came from the divine creator of all that has been created and will be created after we destroy what we created. I'm just trying to close it. So clap your hands to what he's doing. We all here together, people, as conscious thinking people that should be getting along together. But what's separating us from consciously thinking all together as the people who put all this together is we got some rich sons of bitches, corporations, and these systems, like our traditional system, which is broken, which they're not planning on fixing simply because it makes too much motherfucking money. But they done fucked up. They done put me in this system. And they done put the wrong one in this system. Because I know what the fuck I'm talking the fuck about. Because I'm talking straight from the divine creator that created my reality for me to see it clearly. And all I'm doing is letting you know what is your heartbeat. What is the rhythm that we all supposed to be on, living here together in love unconditionally, which we cannot control, but we can grab a hold and love with no material motive. I don't want to fuck you when I say I love you more than you love you. I just want to have peace, love, and equality with you. A man and a man is not supposed to go together. A man and a woman and a woman ain't supposed to go together. That's why it's the opposite sex attract. We all flipped up, people. They got us all fucked up. They taught us well to be stupid as sheep. I mean, they taught us well to be stupid as sheep. This is not about no black or white. This is about life. The real reason why we all here together here. There's only one divine creator of all those different gods and all those different fucking religions. And you heard me say fucking religions. Yep, because they fucking your mind. So I stop it right there to go real drastic with you. I'm about to show you how fucked up this system is. telling everyone, sticking myself. I got my video too. What happened in Walmart? Why Walmart not getting their video too? I'm saying, honorable person, you're the judge. How can you tell me if I didn't tell you this? You work for me. I give you the situation on me. And you can't do it, then I run the street. Y'all didn't know me up here. I know that because you cite my ride. And I tell them to do it. But we the people. We hired you. I'm just letting people know. The truth is the truth. The judges are judging people, but don't want to be judged because of the shit that they do. I guarantee you, if you look back at the jackets of some of these judges that's judging us as the people, they shouldn't even be at the fucking point where they judge us because of the type of the people. I guarantee you, these judges are not honorable people that we got judging other fucking people. We as the people got to rethink our way of thinking and how we are allowing these people to sentence us to prison because of what they feel. The lawyers are liars, and the lawyers only work for the ones that have money. So how could we ever get any type of justice, us telling the truth, but not having the money for the liar to tell the truth for us? Fuck the liar lawyers. I'm gonna be a fucking lawyer for my own self, because I ain't gonna be lying. I'm gonna be telling the motherfucking truth about what happened to me. And I got video to show what happened to me dealing with Walmart and how racist they are in their returning policies and what they do to the handicap when the handicap come there to shop there. They security follow the handicap around like the handicap is supposed to be stealing something. When we get benefit, baby, we got money. So the truth is just that. You will live there and profiling certain people because of other people and the way that they look. I know how I used to look when I came into Walmart. Anytime I came into Walmart, I went into Walmart just because I wanted to come get out of my house and spend some money. But that's how I'm treated when I leave my house. I got almost 6,000 hours of audio and video of the bullshit that you have to me since I became here since Katrina. I'm talking about from it being good in the beginning until they realized that we wasn't going nowhere. And next thing you know, they showed their real colors here in Houston, Texas. Here in Harris County, I can say that this is not a conspiracy that's going on against me. It's just some evil fucking people that knows my heart, and they got algorithm working against me. You tell me, how many people you know that has an algorithm specifically against them, and they can't read or write? They mess up the things that I use with technology when I try to do things on Facebook. When I'm trying to recite something that the creator is giving me to give to you, they fuck it up. That don't be me, that be technology. Because simply because I can't read or write, I give it to you exactly how it's given to me from the divine light that I went into when I gave up on life. But I gave up on life to the truth of what's straight. Because I said these words when I gave up on life the last time I was dealing with the fucking hospitals. When I went to the hospital, the last time I was in the fucking hospital, I went to the hospital after going to 4 different hospitals and was sent home. It could have been 3 different hospitals, but anyway, I got that on tape too. But anyway, I went to certain numerous different hospitals to be sent home, to sit at home for 5 days Yeah, I did that though. I sat home for 5 days. To my provider was the one that told me, look, John, you need to get in the hospital. Been there, done that. Didn't want to go through that. But he got me to go see my primary doctor. My primary doctor got me admitted in the hospital. I was admitted in the hospital with a full-blown kidney infection and a bowel obstruction. These are things that I could have died at home within the first 2 days. But the divine creator of me that loves me unconditionally because of anything that I've done in my past is my past for me to see now. The future is now. Because there's no such thing as here today, gone tomorrow. Here today, gone today. Because no one's promised tomorrow. It's all about what matters is you, the matter that matters now. And the truth is in you to come out. So I'm just telling you the things that can happen to me here in Houston, Texas, Harris County. From the paramedics that I called from a 911 call thinking that I was dying, to me having 4 paramedics in my house bickering about who's going to take me to the hospital, to me checking them, to me being in an ambulance with 2 of them, and they decided they're going to stop the ambulance. They stopped my emergency service to the hospital. That's an emergency for me when I call 911 to get to the hospital. I want to know how is there any stop in that supposed to be always going. Because when you are in an emergency on your route to the hospital, there's no stop in that going until you get to where you're going. But my ambulance stopped in front of a police station, and I was threatened with bodily harm and incarceration. And now that I think about that shit, they do what they do. It gets me upset to say that I can't stand up and do nothing about it. But the truth is the truth. I know love, unconditional, the feeling, being the creator of us all, having any type of feeling to understand, to overstand, to understand, to get at all. Because that's why I can't hate you for what you did me. Because you didn't know who you was doing that to. When you did me, what you did before was wrong. So for you to stop my ambulance en route to the hospital and then threaten me with bodily harm and incarceration, and then me have it on audio tape of you doing me wrong, and then the mayor here in Houston, Texas, justified these 2 paramedics for what they did to me that was wrong. Their justification for what they did me, that the mayor here in Houston, Texas said to me, was that since I have anxiety attacks, they fear for their lives because I have anxiety attacks. I'm a handicapped person, 126 pounds. This was 2 fully functioning paramedics. Y'all know how they get down. These are not no weak individuals. So whose life was in danger? Mine's are the paramedics. I was laying on a stretcher, strapped down. So when the mayor here in Houston, Texas, allowed this to go down, if you can't see the unjust in that injustice that they did me, that they wasn't justifiable for doing, but the mayor gave them a classification to justify them doing me, the handicap, that bullshit. But I say now because then I couldn't articulate how to speak about it until I died and came back. Because the Creator gave me life back to not live to the right or to the left or backwards, just to live it straight as an arrow. And that's how I live. That's why I love you more than you love you. That's why I tell you the truth as the Creator telling me to. Every day that I live here, because I gave up my life. And I respect the love from the Creator for giving me back. Because now I can live my life without no fear of death. Because I know now when it's my time to go, I'm gone. So, people, like I said again, for me to be able to articulate to what happened to me March the 5th, 2013, and then have audio tape what happened to me March the 5th, 2013, and not only that happened to me March the 5th, 2013, I had people outside of my house 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning to the point where I was fearing for my life, to the point where I feared Houston. I fled from Houston, Texas, to Louisiana, where I went to the FBI. So, like I said again, I have a track record to show. I have a record of the reporting that I did to what happened to me March the 5th, for it to happen to me again August the 27th. I say again, March the 5th, 2013, I had 2 paramedics stop my ambulance from route to the hospital in front of a police station and threatened me with bodily harm and incarceration. I got it on audio tape. And then after that, August the 28th, it happened to me again by 4 paramedics. And I was told to shut up all the motherfucking complaining. And I got that on tape. So like I said again, my documentary slash prepping for my movie slash prepping to the book slash prepping to IIWII World Grocery Store Network, knowing that this grocery store will work, knowing that the network for it to work is going to be networked through a lot of people that just love the creators, creation of all us, the people, the conscious thinking humans that should be taking care of it all. This fucking planet. This in nature is all we got, people. When the bees go, we go. Ain't no fucking HMO. That ain't no motherfucking natural food. That's man-made bullshit. Just like that God and that Jesus shit. That's how they do shit. Control you by what you believe in and what you fear. Ain't no goddamn Jesus coming back here, 'cause there never was none. Come on, people. We gotta stop being a sheeple. We gotta wake up and get the willing of the Creator done. The will of the Creator is for us to get along with each other, constantly thinking, loving each other, not hating. One way to love, with no material motive, is to never hate. But one way to create another conscious thinking here is the opposite sex attract. That's the straight. I'm Mr. Glass. 48. IIWII. Love all around the world, baby. Hate is too heavy for the heart. Love is light as a feather. It's like the light coming on in your eye. It's the heartbeat to know that you're alive. When I say the truth is in you to come out, sit down and filter a lot of things through your heart. And I guarantee you, the time that you spend with your heart, it will never, ever, 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 ever tell you a lie. Because the truth just feels too good from within inside. When you go deep down in your heart to the Creator. Love. The unconditional Creator that loves you unconditionally. In order for you to be, to have life, free will, in your choices. To love or hate. It's on you. You don't hear no voices. I love you more than you love you. That's why I tell you the truth. So you can know the truth for yourself. So it can empower you to know that the love is something that you can do. You don't have to hate. Just let the love flow and let the hate go. And watch all that grow from that loving part of you. Now this goes out to you ones that stuck on stupid and don't want to be straight because you know that straight gonna show that you've been stupid for a long motherfucking time. This is something that I'm giving you straight from the divine. Sometimes pain is the game. When it comes down to the truth hurts, you have to let the lies go once you know the truth. This is why I do what I do, because I know the truth. I don't believe in the bullshit like I was taught to believe in Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and the Tooth Fairy. Because I know that the people that taught my people this was lying to get their mind off of what's real. And the truth is within. That's why they taught us to believe something was without us instead of within us. Because when you think about it, heaven is the womb, the porthole of us coming to be into this world with a life. Feel your chest. Where's your heart beating at? Inside or out? Thank you. Think about it. It's time for us to open up our eyes and see the surprise and prize is inside. You just can't lie to you. Because the truth is the divine, loving, unconditional creator that chose to be in you. The creativity in you is the creator of you. It's the lightning strike. It's the spark. It's the light that comes on out of the darkness. It's that unconditional feeling of love that you just can't explain. But you have 5 senses to know that you're alive. It's the egg before the chicken. It's the cocoon before the butterfly. It's all that's in the middle of you having choices. It's the will to you being. A conscious thinking human living here. With other conscious thinking humans living here. And other things that's being created as we are breathing here. 4 beats per breath. That's the heartbeat. The divine creator of all this. Created out of nothing but a feeling of being alone. You know what alone means? Spell it to yourself. It's 2 words in one. With the line which you stand on in the middle. And a circle of life on the end of you being the N in the E. I'm just trying to tell you. Alone. All one. In you and me. There is no I in team. Just as well as me is really we. Stand it up. Put them together. We is all as one people constantly thinking here all together. There's no problem that we couldn't solve once we come together. We created it all, people. These rich sons of bitches are the ones that don't want us coming together. They want us fighting each other. Killing each other. Because once we start caring for each other, their rule fucking stops. We got people being put in jail for nothing, man. of them. Just for standing up for myself and can't stand it. Do you see the bullshit that I'm saying happening here in Houston, Texas, Harris County? Mr. Mayor, I'm going to see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday. It is what it is. We're going to talk about this. We as the people got to stop being a sheep to these people that's ruling us around like we don't know shit. We can see through all the holes and all the shit that they done did. You can see the bullshit. September 11th. Our own people died, man. This was our government did this shit, man. How can we let this shit slide? Heartbroken. But you think I fear death? I had already died 4 times. I know the divine. I can give you 4 periods of your life. I can give you 4 words, beginning with L, ending with E. I can give you 1 word, 4 letters, that sums it up how we all came to be. And it happens to be the Creator's original name before man changed it. The only name or word you can say in vain when you're calling out the name or you're telling somebody you feel about them. Because the only word or name you can say in vain is that you tell somebody you love them and you don't feel the same. When they find out you lied, it can change the whole world to the point where they don't want to be in this one. That's the only word you can say in vain. Because if God was a word you ain't supposed to say in vain, look how you call out the name so easily while having sex. See, because y'all turned the Creator's original name into a 3-letter word. Sex. It's just fucking having sex. It's not making love. 2 people who know each other make love. 2 people that don't give a fuck about each other can have sex. You see the truth in the difference? Love being the creator of everything. The opposite is when you stop at love, when you start to hate. But let me let you understand, to overstand, to understand, to get what's straight. The loving you unconditional creator has no hell for you. The loving you unconditional creator loves you through and through. You create the hell for you. What you think, they got a hell for animals too? Animals do what they do by nature. We are the ones that have divine will. Heart over nature. Over meaning we are not supposed to be eating the animals that's breeding. And breeding, the double breeding. Breeding air and breeding life. We're not supposed to be taking their life to continue life. How could that ever be straight when you're thinking straight? We're just thinking the way that we was taught to think, like sheep or animals, not really people. Ever since what happened to me almost 3.5 years ago, being in the hospital to give up on life, to now know that the doctors are a bunch of lying sons of bitches. I say it again, a lot of the doctors are some lying sons of female dog, meaning an animal. No disrespect to the animal. But anyway, because when you look at, my hat goes off to your surgeons. Anybody dealing with the emergency room trauma, my hat goes off to you. But anybody that's dealing with the digestive system, dealing with doctors, dealing with that system, I feel for you. Because any doctor dealing with the digestive system coming into the trauma room, you're going to end up with some kind of medication, or they might end up killing you. But then they're going to say that it was all your fault. But it is, technically speaking. Because if you're listening to doctors and you're taking their medication and they're not prescribing you marijuana, that's all because they're not for what's for you. They're for what's going to make their pockets get big. And that's all on that bullshit medication. It's mind-boggling, people, when you know what the truth is. Our body is as divine as the Creator is in it. It is what it is. How do you think your body heals? Not from the outside in, it's from the inside out. I'm just trying to tell you. You know what I'm talking about. Do you? You know the truth. Believe you me, it shines through. Because you part of the sun. The one and only son. Without a mother or father. Because you are that one that's supposed to have a mother and a father. Here together on earth. See, because that twist is the way that they twisted it up. Our Father who was in heaven to try to take the glory away from that woman being the only creator here on earth. So they throw you up in some fucking heaven with a man. I say again, they throw us up in the heavens with a man when we down here with a woman, with a womb, being a portal to life. Think about it. You didn't do nothing to deserve a birthday. You were just born here, an empty glass, waiting for some truth. Your mama put in all the work for you to be birthed here to do what you do. Your daddy just did a couple of humps and he was through. He shot out the liquid. Your mama made it do what it do. All because of the divine creator within her. No God in no sky came down and did nothing. That is the fucking lies that they told to us. That's that Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy bullshit, people. Feel your chest. That heartbeat, 4 beats per breath. No truth. Heart stop beating, stop moving. Is that the truth? I'm just trying to let you know for you. I'm giving you what the divine is giving me to say. And I do this here all day, every day. Because like I said again to you, I gave up on life. And it was given back to me a little straight. This is all I can do. I love you more than you love me. Because I'm wishing for you to go back where I'm going back. The truth is the truth. But I have to go through this with you first. It's like only way to get to tomorrow is you have to finish today first. It's all the divine in you. You just have to think it through by taking the time and filtering through your heart. It's horrible to sit here and know that doctors are doing people in and getting paid for it. Shouldn't a doctor get paid for how healthy you are? If anything? Because if you sit there, you think about it, and be smart by sitting there and filtering it through your heart, the only part of you that's smart, because it always pumps the blood throughout the body. It never sucks it. But think about it, people. What motivates your doctor to do for you? The money do. He don't give a fuck about you. I even told you the truth. Stop eating meat. Stop coming to see me. My medication is killing you. This is, like I say, a part of my documentary / everything to start off what I'm gonna do to get this III World Grocery Store doing what it's gonna do. But this is the beginning. Walmart, I'm coming for you. Because for me being put in jail for just standing up for the truth, you gonna feel it now too. Because y'all gotta give up the tape now. Because I got mine. And as long as I got mine, just to be mine, you gonna have to bring y'all truth to y'all lives that y'all don't have the truth to. Because y'all destroyed the tape. Y'all destroyed the tape because I know the tape is gonna show the truth. And if y'all didn't destroy the tape, woo, that's even better. The tape gonna do what it do. Because the tape gonna show a person fed up with the bullshit. When you want to explain something, you want to explain something. It is what it is. You're not supposed to be stopped from explaining what you're trying to explain to some people that want to be what? Ruling over you. I pay y'all salary. Walmart, I spend money with you. Y'all got a receipt that I need for this PlayStation that's fucking up now. Just what it was doing before. I came and brought one back to you. But it is what it is. It's gonna do what it do. Because until y'all either kill me, I'm the truth. I second that emotion.